Welcome, everyone. You are about to embark on a journey through the universe as you indulge in this extraordinary essence of enlightened, empowered, evolved. Let the show begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Just in time. Greetings, everyone. I'm Luke Bryan Smith, and welcome to Enlightened, Empowered, Evolved, where we educate, motivate, and liberate you through enlightening dialogues, empowering music, and evolving content. I know everyone's doing well, and everything is absolutely unfolding perfectly. I'm excited yet again because my next extraordinary guest is an Akashic Records consultant, speaker, mindset coach, and neuroscience of mindfulness expert. And I'm certain a whole lot more. But without further ado, allow me to introduce to you Carolyn Marie Julie. How are you doing today, Carolyn?
Hi, Ruth. I'm great. I'm so grateful to be here today to share this time with you and your amazing people that are listening to this podcast. So grateful for it. Thank you so much
Yes,
for connecting.
you're very welcome. And I have to counter that with saying that I believe that time is our most precious asset, one of our most precious assets. And for you to choose to spend a segment of your time in the history of your timeline here with me on Enlightened, Empowered, Evolved, I just have to extend my sincerest gratitude to you. So thank you very much, Carolyn, for being here at this present moment. I appreciate you.
Thank you. And so grateful for your mission. I love your podcast. And I think it's so valuable to have those conversations broadcast across the world. So thank you for what you're doing. Thank you
Absolutely.
so much.
Absolutely. And that is well received. That is my passion, my mission. And I like how you said that broadcast around the world, because that's what I envision to capture, if you will, these amazing, uplifting, encouraging, enlightening, empowering dialogues and information, and share them, and not only absorb and embody a lot of most of what I uh, encounter and hear, but to be able to spread it out there. I feel like that I'm doing my part in healing and elevating humanity, the planet. So it's amazing. And even though I have intentions to reach millions, I am totally at peace with simply reaching one or two or three people, or just simply elevating myself. Just amazing.
Exactly, because it's beyond that. It's the frequency that you embody through your mission
Right.
that is beyond the matter. So you're reaching the whole planet, whether you see it or not, just because of your being on spot with your mission, with your sole purpose.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, yes. And
Mm.
thank you again for those encouraging, affirming uh, words. I appreciate it. And I am embodying and just envisioning what you were saying. It's just the energy of what you said, not just what you said, but the way and the energy that those words and those feelings are producing. And I can feel it. So thank you very much. So let's get right into it, Carolyn. Give us a little insight. And as I mentioned to you prior to us going on here, uh, I have maybe dipped my toe in the information of Akashic records. So could you give us a little bit more clarity, is best you can, to sum it up, because I know it's a quite complex modality. But if you could give us a bit of clarity on what Akashic records are and how you came to become an Akashic record consultant, just give us a little framework around this, if you will, please.
Of course, absolutely. So I think you name it right. Akashic records are beyond words that the mind can really understand.
Right.
But also what's amazing is that mind can understand it through the example of a library. So basically, Akashic records are the database of all of the information since the beginning of time of humanity and of each one of us at a soul level. So
Okay.
each one of us has a particular space in this etheric field of the Akasha where is contained this information. And we can access this information to withdraw more clarity, healing, understanding, about what is this journey about for this lifetime. And it's not only about past life, like a lot of information is contained about your soul plan. What are you doing in this lifetime? And this is why it is such an empowering tool for self-growth, self-awareness, and self-awakening.
Right.
Because what I do with that work with the people, and why is the modality I dedicate myself into the most now, it's because it's the way to elevate your frequency and start to live at a soul level. Understand your life from a soul point of view. A little bit like we touched earlier when we said, like, you know, your mission, it's not only about the numbers you see on YouTube.
Right.
You know, you are infinite potential, and your field is part of the greater field. So just being on spot on your mission, and sometimes it's embodying being a dad, for example. Like, we have different missions, but being aligned with it create this field of expansion for our soul to grow and live in this ease and grace. So yeah, there's a lot to say about the Akashic records, yet they are very simple and practical tool for our daily life and our self-growth and understanding. So yeah.
Wow.
And well, about my journey, you know, for me, since forever, I feel trapped. Well, I was feeling trapped in some sort of a box that I could not understand.
Right.
And this is why at around my 30s, I just left aside my studies and I decided to embark a journey of traveling to try to understand what was beyond the mind. I always had this like very awake view, intuition that we are much more than what our thoughts, our emotions, what is the mind suggesting, our belief system. And that propels me to kind of leave aside my life and embark this journey of self-discovery, studying with masters in India, in Nepal, in Thailand. And then I studied different modalities. I've been an energy healer, mindfulness teacher, and the neurosciences. I wanted to understand, what is this brain about? Why is it producing those thoughts? And why do I feel so trapped and limited by this point of view of my brain? And so, but also I was looking for, what am I supposed to do? And you know, at one point in your life, you're like, oh, I've studied this, I've done this and that, and why am I not finding my purpose, my alignment? And so one day, I was wondering what was going on with me, and then I wanted to take an appointment with an osteopathic doctor that I deeply admire. I trust so much this person. And then on his website, I see another lady, and this lady offer Akashic reading. And at that time, I didn't even know about Akashic reading.
Oh, wow.
But the next thing I know, my body, not even myself, my body is making an appointment with this lady for an Akashic record. And you know, what supported that is that I trusted so much this osteopathic doctor that I said, like, oh, if she's with him on the same appointment calendar, it's probably because she's trustable. I can trust her.
Okay.
And so I got my Akashic records reading with her. And this is where I felt home for the first time in my life.
It resonated, and excuse me, it resonated with your soul.
Exactly, absolutely. And the energy of it was like, oh, this is what I've been looking for through all of those time. I went to ashrams, I did austerities, meditation, so on and so on.
Right.
And having amazing expansion experience, enlightening moment, but never I felt home. And this connection was my home.
Mm.
And during the consultation, she told me that I was warmly invited to do this work. And so that was the beginning of, this endless stories, because I was a Akashic reader in a past life. Like, when it's just those skills are just
Right.
there. It's
They're
like
just there.
effortless.
You just have to remember and
I just have to remember.
remember. Right.
And
Right.
the last piece of that story that just reinforced the miracle that happened for me in my life, this turning point, is that I asked her if she was on the same page of that osteopathic doctor.
Mm.
And she told me that no, she was not. So that
Okay.
was really like a reinforcement of, when the universe is just taking you and making you do this quantum jump, this quantum
Right.
leap in
Right.
order to put you on the right spot, because it's just
Right.
about time.
Right. Yes, as I mentioned before, and thank you thus far for giving us a bit of clarity and sharing a bit of your journey and a bit of clarity in regards to Akashic Records. I appreciate that. Thank you for taking the time to give us a little insight. Uh, But as I was mentioning before, yes, about getting out of sort of like getting out of our own way and surrendering to the flow of the universe. You will find that, and I'm thankful that I'm at that point. And sometimes I have to still remind myself to get out of my own way, get out of my own head, get out of my own thoughts, and
Mm.
surrender and allow the universe to guide me and to accept it, everything that is manifesting, and to observe, and to most of all appreciate and express gratitude in regard to everything, because as I mentioned before, and I didn't make this term up, but everything is happening for us and not to us. But I really resonate with that, and that you are right now, um, in real time, a prime example of that. You know, you
Mm.
you allowed the universe to, you opened yourself up, and that's where it led you to, to become um, notable in Akashic Records, and to be able to help your, not only elevate yourself, but to bring others into that modality, into those modalities as well, and to help them in some kind of way enhance their experience. And that's amazing.
Mm. It
Absolutely amazing.
is.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, thank you for that. Absolutely. And one thing I've realized afterward, after like connecting to my Akashic record consciously for the first time,
Right.
is that this voice, it's like a booming voice I've been hearing here and there
Mm.
on like particular moment in my life. Like I remember once it was this really clear voice coming through saying you need to go to India. And
Mm.
before that, like it was
Did you
India
go?
for me. I
Okay, I
went,
just
and
wanted
I
to know.
had,
I didn't
yeah,
want
of
you to leave
course.
us in suspense. I'm sorry for interrupting you, but I was like,
Next
wow. Okay,
episode,
go
I'll
go
tell
ahead,
you if I get.
Carolyn. I apologize. Go ahead.
No, absolutely. The first time I heard it is what you need to teach meditation.
Mm.
So each time this booming voice would come through, I
Right.
never knew where it was coming from, and it was just so clear. Then I was saying like, okay, I'll teach meditation, and so I started to learn about mindfulness meditation, to study for a while, and then teach that. And
Right.
then it was like, okay, no, you stop that and then you go to India. And it was like, oh, but I'm starting to build a career here. Okay, perfect. So I had to surrender few times. And each time I would really clear layers of my conditioning through those experiences, to those surrendering, to, a greater awareness. So all of those steps were part of the journey. So even though and it taught me a lot about trusting, like how important it is to trust, exactly like you say, universe is on our side.
Right.
And there is much more than we think we are. Like we are infinite soul. And what is so great about that is exactly like you mentioned, you need to have your mind out of the way. Mind is an amazing tool if it works for us and not overpower our own guidance systems, our own capacity to hear those booming voices that make no sense, yet are absolutely the next step that brings us to this next level of frequency of awareness, of unwrapping our soul's gifts. So
Yes, thank you. And we have to come to the realization that to know that we are all receivers and transmitters in the scheme of things in the universe. We're all like satellites and antennas, if you will. And again, you have affirmed and further strengthened that analogy and that knowledge because you even took a big leap and went to India. Now, how many of us will listen to this voice and actually get up and go somewhere as far as India? And that's amazing, and again, that's a testimony to, obviously making that trip to India was a positive step in your path. Could you give us a bit of insight, if you will, on what types of experiences and what way did going to India elevate you?
yes, India, because we are carrying some karmic patterns. And what was interesting is that I've been traveling all of my life, like since I had the age to say, "Hey, mom, dad, I'm going hitchhiking across Canada," or the traveler in me has always been very alive, and it's a flow. It's easy for me to travel at anywhere. But for a reason, India was always kind of veiled in my awareness. Like if I would talk to go to India, it was like, no, it's not time. No, it's not time. No, it's not
Right,
time. Until that day, I did a meditation and it was like, you go to India. And I was like, okay, but I don't have necessarily the money right now to take a year in India.
right,
And so the job followed along, like, go to this place and you'll get a job. And this voice I'm telling you about, she wasn't happening a lot in my life, but she was
right.
happening in key moment.
Mm,
Now I do it on purpose with connecting with the Akashic record.
right,
I can connect to this voice, but before it was just those strategic moments.
mm,
And India has been such an amazing experience. I need to admit that when I first arrived there, I started to have panic attack because
mm.
I was carrying past life where I was in India. I was a yogi, and not like the most pleasant end of life happened for me.
Right,
And so I still went because, I have faith and I go through those things knowing that there's something beyond that.
mm,
And
right,
at one point, I've met a pranayama teacher, a very
mm,
renowned pranayama master, those masters that of yoga that do it since all of their life. They get like a guru lineage initiation and so on.
right.
And when I
That
saw
reminds
him,
me, if I may, yes,
yeah,
that has been in my mind as well, and in my experience as well. I haven't went there, but yes, I've read a few books by the likes of a man by the name of Paramahansa Yogananda. So yes,
yeah.
I'm experienced. Yes, you are speaking something that
Mhm.
sounds familiar and amazing to me. Go ahead, Carolyn.
Yeah, autography of a yogi. I've read that book as well for
Yes,
chapters, and
amazing
it's
book,
like,
huh?
ooh, there's a lot to integrate here,
Right.
and absolutely. And so, yeah, so I went to India and then I did a TTC, which is a yoga teacher training, because I wanted to know more about the yogic teaching around meditation.
Right.
But then at one point, this teacher arrived to teach pranayama, and I saw him and I knew, like, I'm coming to see you. So I really, again, this undoubtable intuition that came through. And so I went and I spent 2 months with him doing intensive pranayama. And that was my first deep awakening experience. I kind of left my body, traveled through dimension, this like infinite universe of the void. And so I went really high and then came back. And then I cleared a lot of karmic patterns through pranayama. I know it's been life-changing. So I was really lighter from a lot of emotional pain and, past life karmas. And from that point, India, that was kind of triggery for me in my memories, just become the sweetest place on earth. Like I felt that I was being embraced and carried by the Divine Mother everywhere I would go, like this sweet perfume of this India, the light, everything shifts. So it was very impressive to notice from the day I arrived on that land where everything was like, oh, I'm scared, I don't know why, to like this flow of I'm home and I know I'm home and I can feel the beauty of this divine connection.
Wow.
So yeah, it's been an amazing journey. But one thing I've noticed is that I'm really willing to go through those experiences of deep exploration. But yet it's only with the Akashic records that I could do it in a balanced way, because I must admit that I went all in India and then I came back and I was so hypersensitive, like super empathetic, that I was not managing my gifts so well. So maybe some of the people that are listening to us will recognize, like sometimes you're so gifted, but on a daily basis, it's difficult for the nervous system because you're so open in your gifts that
Right.
you need alignment and grounding.
Right.
Yeah, so that's why
Alignment.
later on, yeah.
Yeah, alignment, grounding, and even reassurance, even though you know that you have these gifts and you know that incredible uh situations and circumstances have been manifesting, you still, like you said, yes, I think, yeah, it's even part of the ego at one point that creeps in and can disempower you in ways, even those with the most incredible gifts I've from my perspective and my experience. So yes, I totally resonate with what you're saying, Carolyn.
Yeah, I got to recognize the difference between mystical experiences that help for the mind to kind of dissolve a little bit and start to believe that there's something else, that what the eyes or the senses are experiencing,
Right.
and real, like, I don't want to say real, but grounded spirituality, the one that you come back into your body, you
Right.
witness the conditions of your life, and you
Right.
say, this is my work. This is where I will embody this light, this love,
Right.
this awareness. It's not traveling, astral traveling or things.
Right.
Yes, this has a purpose, but it's releasing like what's going on here and how can I bring this light and broadcast it around me through my
Wow.
soul alignment, through my soul purpose, through my joy. Like being aligned with your soul is about being joyful on
Mm.
your path, enjoying the ride as well. So,
Thank you for the way that you painted that vivid picture and articulated that. It's
mm,
very expressive, very passionate. I can like I mentioned before, I can feel what you're saying, the energy
mm,
that's emulating, that's resonating, that's permeating from how you're expressing yourself. I can feel that, and that's amazing. Uh, you can authentically feel that you are connecting or have connected with your inner self, with your spirit, and aligning with the universe, aligning with one and all, and that is amazing. Absolutely amazing. So, can you share with us how we can connect with you, how we can find you? Do you have a website? Do you have any links that you can share with us while we're here?
Yes, absolutely. So I have my website. My website is in French for now, but you know, there's this Google option to translate a website. So I know
Right.
people do that all the time until it's fully translated to English. So there you can make an appointment. You can reach out, ask me question. So I do one-on-one consultations. I also do group circles once in a while. And also I have particular programs that I've been birthing this year for female entrepreneurs to help them. So one thing that my Akashic masters told me that is part of my soul mission is also to empower those light beings that are ready to bring their gift to the world through their business. So many times we're like, I don't resonate with this society. I love it. I want to contribute to it, but I don't feel part of a business or a corporation. I want to create my own. I feel I have a gift to offer.
Right.
So one thing I've got to recognize is that I'm like a brilliant catalyst through the Akashic records. I'm just opening the space for the person to receive the reconnection with their highest gift, like what are their talents. And most of the times it's even beyond imagination. We're so gifted as soul. We have so many lifetimes of gift and talents and wisdom we're carrying. And now it's time. And I'm sure you feel it too. Like there's a shift in
Abs-
the energy.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
there's something telling us that like all of those luggages, those belief systems that are no longer serving us, they feel heavy on our shoulders right
Mm,
now. But
right.
one thing is amazing is that when we feel the heaviness, it's because they are ready to be seen and they
Right.
are ready to be released and
Yes.
recycled for the highest good of all. So you can feel lighter and really have clarity on your gift and your mission. So I do that with female entrepreneurs as well through Bloom and Thrive Academy. So really seeing the deep blocks. Because one thing is amazing with the Akashic records is that, okay, you see you have like patterns with relationship, like why do I keep attracting this kind of person in my life? So
Right.
it's very practical, but they will exactly tell you what's the deep root of this pattern. They will go like, okay, childhood, that age, that moment, that created a shift in your belief system that is still impacting for now, or maybe a past life, or maybe an emotional or belief. Maybe it's from your lineage. So there are different place it would come through. But for me, I believe it's the most profound tool to know exactly where those blockages, those karmic patterns come from, and then you unleash your gift. So yeah, maybe I did a very long answer to your
No,
question. Where can you
no,
reach me?
everything unfolds perfectly. So you expressed exactly what you were supposed to. And
Yeah.
but just to clarify, can you give us the French and the English interpretation of your website?
Yes, so my website, my company is named Né de la Lumière, which means born of the light.
Okay.
Um, so this born of the light, I created with the Akashic records. So before I had Méditation Espace Être, which was more like my mindfulness business. And this one, because you can open the Akashic record of your business. And this is also revolutionary because there's a Akashic record for every entity on this planet, being a house, a business, it can be an animal. And then you can open the Akashic record if you are the owner of a business and tap into, because if it exists at the Akashic level, if it is because it has a mission and it has people that it want to serve. So you can open the Akashic record of the business and start to dialogue with the business to know how you can create the perfect partnership, you being the vessel.
Right.
And one very empowering information as well that I received from the Akashic record is that the business chose you because you are a perfect match for this business. So sometimes as entrepreneurs, we feel that, oh, I'm carrying something and I'm not even sure it will work. I'm not, discouragement can come like so often along the way. But when you open to the greater mission of your business, this expansion saying like, oh, this business wants to exist. And I'm just supporting this light, this awareness, this wisdom that wants to be poured on the planet to be embodied and to walk through action. So yeah, so this is Nez de la Lumière. This is what they gave me as a business for my Akashic record consulting. The website is lumiere-akasha.ca. So it's in French, but I believe it will be written underneath the video for sure.
Yes, absolutely. I will put all your links in the description of the video. And yes, thank you very much again, Carolyn, for coming on and bringing incredible value to not only myself, but to the platform and everyone that is watching and or listening. Thank you very much. And thank you everyone for watching and or listening and sharing a moment of your time here with us on Enlightened, Empowered, Evolved. I appreciate you very much. Please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. Leave comments. Share this. Help the platform grow. Help elevate the planet. Get these amazing dialogues, empowering dialogues out there. I appreciate you very much. Until next time, love and appreciation to you. Enlightened, Empowered, Evolved. See you soon.